Hey everyone, this is episode 8 in the Python Basics for Beginners series. Today we will take handling errors and debugging code. So let's get started. There are three types of errors in Python, which are syntax errors, which includes typos and missing colons, runtime errors such as dividing by zero or invalid operations, and logical errors, where the code runs but provides us with the wrong results. Syntax errors include an example like this. So for example, x equals 5 if x is greater than 7, print greater. And yes, I forgot the colon intentionally because this is a syntax error right here. Now if we try to run it, as you can see, it gives us syntax error expected colon. Errors that are syntax errors include mistakes similar to this. Now runtime errors include something like this. So for example, print 10 divided by 0. Now on paper, it doesn't look wrong. But when we try to run it, as you can see, it gives us a division by 0 error. Since you cannot divide by 0 in math, like it's impossible to divide by 0. Those are runtime errors, which are for invalid operations, and since dividing by 0 is an invalid operation, it is a runtime error. Now the last type of errors are logical errors, which most of the time it is when you don't know what you're doing. So for example, let's define a function def av, and then we're gonna add A, B, C, and then add a column. So for example, we're gonna return A plus B plus C divided by 3. Now that looks like normal code that will run. And then AVG equals VAR, and then 10 plus 20 plus 30. Print average is colon, comma, and AVG. Now this looks like code that will run, and it actually runs, but we will get 30. Oh wait. Oh my, I had a syntax error right here. Either ways, this will actually run. As you can see, we got the average 40. Even though we're supposed to get the average of 20. You know why is that? Because we forgot to add the brackets right here. That's a logical error. It gives us the wrong output even though it runs normally. So if we run it again, as you can see, the average is 20 this time, which is the correct average. Now, to handle errors without giving the program a crash, we can use try and except. So here's a piece of code to show you dividing by 10 of a number of the user's choice. So if I copy the piece of code from here and pasting it into our IDE. Now, instead of giving us random errors that the user will not understand, so for example, if we typed this before, it would have gave us a different error, like a long error message that the user will not understand. But now this is a clear message for the user. And running it again, and for example dividing by 0, you can divide by 0. So yeah, now to explain it, we first start with try, then the code you want to use main. Now, except's turn, all of its turn to do is you type except, then the name of the error, then the code you want it to be executed when the error happens. So for example, you can't divide by 0. Yeah, that's something normal, or else the program will crash. But since we have an error handler right here, the program will not crash, but instead will inform the user that you can divide by 0 and then close. You can search up for error names or run your program, try to make it do an error and type the error name in there instead. Simple, right? And before this episode is over, here are a few tips for beginners to avoid errors. If you're debugging and want to know the value of something, just use the print statement to know it. And remove it when you fix the errors. Never forget colons in if, for, or while, or then. Never mix strings and integers, always convert to the same type, then add. And always define a value before using it, since Python always reads code like a book, so from the first line till the last line. This episode you mostly learned about how you should handle errors rather than something new, but in your Python career it will help you take on fixing errors more confidently. So this is it. And before we wrap up for today, I have a challenge for you. Try to update your calculator from a few episodes ago to handle errors without problems. Thank you for watching and see you next episode.